Welcome back to the Bloom Room. Today's guest is very special. She is a senior manager at Caleres, does sustainability, product sourcing, and R&D. She's basically one of the top dogs at Caleres. Please welcome Andee Burton.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So let's just get right into it. So tell us, how did you first get started in footwear?
So I first got started in footwear because my brother actually worked for another athletic shoe company. So, through a couple friends, I got an internship actually in design. So I started in athletic footwear, 3D computer animated design modeling, and I had nothing to do with sustainability at all.
I guess, how did you first get started in sustainability? Like, what piqued your interest with sustainability?
I always tell people, I was there seeing it firsthand. I had an opportunity to travel to Ho Chi Minh City, and just being there every day, you see the waste that's created. We were there for 2 years, and I brought back with us a cat named Lloyd. He's still here.
Really?
And a need to want to do something better for the planet.
When you first started your sustainability journey, what were some of the big challenges that you faced?
I would say making sure we were on board with our suppliers, everyone aligning on what type of products we want to make, what are the proper certifications for those products. Because I feel like nowadays there's certifications coming out everywhere. There's so many governing bodies. There's so many things to look at. Making sure that we had the right certifications and the right partners to move forward, I think, was a bigger hurdle. And then I feel like once you find the right people, you find the right certifications, then you have a clear vision of where you could go with those.
With those certifications, did you find, what were the top runners that you found to be the most useful?
So we really like Global Recycled Standards, so GRS certifications, just because we like that they're not only looking at content of recycled content, but they're also looking at the chemicals used, social considerations behind manufacturing. So GRS is one of our top certifications that we use.
So you've been engaged at the design level, the development level, the factory levels, and then now you're more on the corporate level, kind of going back to your time when you were more engaged at the more brand side, like at Dr. Scholl's. What were some of the specific challenges that the designers were facing when, they get this new initiative, hey, we want to make the shoes more sustainable? What's going through their minds in order to be able to achieve this objective?
I would say one of the things that we have to consider is cost when making more eco-conscious choices. But I think the good news is that consumers and retailers are both starting to understand that we have to make these changes. And if that comes with an increase in cost, the latest survey from the FDRA said that 50+% of consumers are willing to pay $5 to $10 more for a shoe that's more eco-friendly. So I think we're starting to see a turn here where, there's some upcharges, but on the other hand, people are willing to pay for them.
So the consumer insight is showing that the consumer's more open to paying a bit of a premium for something that has sustainability incorporated into it. But how does the performance play into the role?
Obviously huge. I don't think consumers are willing to forego, the performance. And if it has more environmentally preferred, materials or environmentally preferred sourcing options, that's just a benefit to the shoe itself.
So talk about some of the materials that you guys are using currently in your shoes. I know you guys use Bloom, but what other materials are you using?
Well, Bloom, obviously I have to go shout out to you guys. We love Bloom. The thing that I like about Bloom is that it has a restoration story that none of the other materials that we use has. So I think fossil fuel replacements are great, but the fact that we can replace fossil fuels and our outsoles, our insoles with Bloom, and then you guys actually return the water, that sort of restoration, I think, is makes it a unique material that we have in our supply chain. So along with Bloom, I think that recycled content is great. Organic materials are great. But I think it's about how all of the choices that we make, whether they're environmentally preferred materials, whether it's packaging, whether it's sourcing from factories that use renewable energy, all of these choices are seemingly little choices that are made on little pieces of the shoes that we make on a daily basis that get rolled up to make, a big difference. So these are just things that along the way that equal big results.
Yeah. Are you starting to see that recycled materials are becoming the new norm?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that recycled materials just become the status quo. Like, why are we
Yeah.
using virgin polyester? Like, we should never be using virgin polyester. I actually saw a study from Textile Exchange that says the fashion industry is about 14% recycled polyester versus virgin polyester. And just to even have a number like that, be in the industry, it's cool to see, and I hope that it keeps climbing.
So you mentioned environmentally preferred materials a couple times just then, and the FDRA, which is the footwear manufacturing group in the U.S., you were involved and instrumental in helping the industry kind of set some guidelines and set some future targets for environmentally preferred materials. Can you talk a bit about that at all?
Sure, I'd love to. So it started off internally. Caleres has a lot of brands and we sell to a bunch of different retailers. And we wanted to make sure we were all speaking the same language when it came to our shoes. So to have, a list of what is environmentally preferred and what is not internally made a lot of sense. And then as we were kind of working through this with retailers, I got in touch with the FDRA, and we found a need that the industry needed something to set a baseline so we're all talking the same language. I feel like the environmentally preferred material threshold list is just a place for everyone to reference, no matter where they are.
That's great. Yeah, it's been great seeing that, and it was really cool seeing the regenerative material call out in terms of Bloom being in there for environmental restoration.
What's been your most successful project that you didn't expect?
I think in the last couple years, the Dr. Scholl shoes team has won the Accessories Council Award for footwear under 250 for 3 years in a row. And that was a huge deal. We started with the Herzog, and we wanted to make it the most eco-conscious shoe we could. So everything on it has recycled content, from like the engineered knit upper to the laces, the TPU eyelets, the outsole has Bloom, the sock is Bloom. So head to toe, we were like, what can we do to this shoe? That was where we started. And we won the award, which is amazing. Last year, we won the same award with the Hunter shoe, which is the shoe that you guys have, the green one on my left there. Yeah. And instead of making it recycled, we wanted to have it be as organic as possible. So the engineered knit upper is organic cotton. The laces are organic cotton. All the linings are organic cotton. The toe box and the heel counter are bio-based. The midsole, it has Bloom content. The outsole is a natural rubber. And any of the leather is sourced from the leather working group. And we won the award again for the Hunter. So that was just, it was such a cool story about how this team who started their journey, 4 years ago, how they could continually learn and evolve and are making, shoes is the best that they can.
Well, you guys are obviously doing something right, winning the award 3 years in a row. Congratulations. That's pretty awesome. So what is your ultimate goal in sustainability at Caleres?
I think that going forward, we have big 2025 ESG goals out there. And, it just highlights the initiatives we're working on, whether from its environmental standpoint or social standpoint. And it would mean everything to me to surpass those goals by 2025, whether it's from environmentally preferred materials, whether it's giving to charitable donations, working with our suppliers on continuing our supply chain traceability, reducing emissions. I think that our ESG report is a huge light beacon for me, and to make sure that we not only reach those goals but surpass those goals would be amazing.
So the ESG report really is consolidating and compiling all this great work that you guys have been doing over the past several years in achieving your sustainability goals. Based on your current ESG activities and your future goals, what does the future look like for Caleres in terms of sustainability? Where do you see it all going?
I hope that in the future, Caleres, in all of our brands can keep innovating to give consumers eco-conscious choices that they've been asking for. I hope that we can deliver the products that consumers want and that retailers want that will help, make our planet a better place. I feel like that's just like so like kind of cheesy, but I kind of feel that way. I feel that like there's a lot of people that care a lot, and the products that we're making are getting better and better every year. And I hope that consumers can find, what they're looking for in our brands when it comes to more sustainable choices.
So in front of us, we have a couple examples of the Dr. Scholl's shoes, and we want to give a free pair of shoes away to one of our listeners. Andee, can you tell us a little bit about some of these shoes, like what kind of sustainable materials the consumer can expect when they get their shoes?
Yeah. So the green one there on my left is the Hunter that we talked about earlier. And that is, max organic content, organic cotton, organic laces, a Bloom midsole, a nice outsole. The next that has all recycled content, the gore is recycled, the uppers recycled, the linings are recycled. It has a Bloom midsole. And then on the right there, that's a leather style. So the leathers from the leather working group, all your linings are 100% GRS recycled polyester, and the outsole is has Bloom content.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options to choose from, and the wonderful people at Dr. Scholl's has graciously allowed us to give away a free pair of shoes. So here's what we're going to do. Just comment your shoe size below to be entered into the raffle, and we will choose somebody at random.
Good luck, everyone.
Well, Andee, thank you so much for joining us in the Bloom Room. We really enjoyed talking to you today, and good luck with the rest of your sustainability journey at Caleres.
Thank you so much, guys, and thanks for having us. Cheers to many good years ahead.
Thank you, Andee.
Thank you. See you later. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, or if you have an interesting topic that you'd like us to talk about, leave it in the comments below. If you like content like this, please consider subscribing. We'll see you next time in the Bloom Room.